In this video, we are going to go over some properties about circles. You should know the formula of circles, but just in case you don't, the diameter equals 2 times the radius, and the circumference equals 2 pi times radius, and the area equals pi times radius squared. So those are all very important formulas to get down and memorized, just in case you need them. So in this question though, what we're asking for is what is the area of the entire circle, giving the diameter, which diameter is always how far it is from one end of the circle to the other, which is 15 centimeters. What is the area? So given the area equals pi radius squared, what is our radius? That's our first thing we need to find out. Well, if our diameter is if our diameter is 15 centimeters, what would the radius be? Which is exactly half. So using a formula, we can add one more formula to this. Radius, actually from here, radius equals diameter over 2. So 15 divided by 2 equals 7.5. So our diameter, our radius is 7.5. So pi times 7.5 squared would be what the area of the entire circle is. So therefore pi times 7.5 squared, which is 56.25, will be your final answer, unless you are given a calculator. If you're given a calculator, you could find out what the answer will be, but 9 times out of 10, the professor will say that 56.25 pi will be good enough as the area, since in most university classes you are not allowed to use a calculator. Now that we found the area, what is the circumference? Well, the circumference equals 2 pi r, or 2 pi 7.5, or 15 pi. So therefore you could actually say that the circumference is really just pi times diameter. In this video, in this question, we are given that the radius equals 2. And we want to find the circumference, the diameter, and the area. Well, if the radius equals 2 and the diameter is 2 times the radius, it implies that the diameter equals 4. And if we know that the area equals pi radius squared, then we know that the area equals pi times 2 squared, which equals 4 pi. And the circumference, which we learned was 2 pi radius, would be 2 pi times 2, which would also equal 4 pi. So there we quickly found all of the information that we needed to find. If we are given a question where we are only given the circumference, we could still figure out everything we need to find out. How? Well, using circumference equals 2 pi r, if we're given 50.265 equals 2 pi r, then if we divide 50.265 by 2, we are given 25.1325 equals pi r. Now dividing that number by pi gets you 8 equals r. Now using that, since we have now found the radius, we can still find the area, which is pi r squared, which equals 64 pi. So this is a tougher question, and you want to find the area of the red filled in circle. How do you begin to do that when the blue circle is actually taken out? So this is more or less a donut. You want to find the area of the actual donut part. Well, to do that, you need to find the area of the outer circle, so area of the red part, minus the area of the blue part. So let's start with the area of the red part. So we're given that the radius is 4, so if area equals pi times radius squared, then the area would equal pi times 4 squared minus pi times 2 squared. So equals pi times 16 minus pi times 4, which would equal 16 pi minus 4 pi, which would equal 12 pi. And that's how you would figure out the outside area of the circle.